the UMOJA Disability Center project coordinator. And with him, we will be able to discuss the topic of the place of people living with disability and conducting business. Thank you very much, sir, for coming through. We are very humbled to have your attention today. So I'll just start off. Why did you choose art and craft for your initiative?
Why did I choose art and craft? Yes. The good reason behind it is that most people who really come out of their hiding on matters relating to disability are women. And the women happen to be the majority who are doing art and craft. We have a number of men, but women are the majority. And when we call them out, they were the first ones to respond. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about the future of it. For starters, let's start from where you started. How did you come up with the idea? How did you put it into a plan? And then how did you actualize it? Because you said in the story, Nancy says it took 5 years, to actualize, to plan it. And then you just recently kicked it off in 2018. It should be about an year by now. So tell me how this all came together.
We've been handling people with disability at different levels. We've been talking to them.
Hold the mic a little bit closer to you. Yeah.
All right. We've been reaching out to them in that we've been going to their places. We didn't have the disability center. So as a result of our own research, we realized that they needed a place whereby they can bring in their products, they can be trained, instead of just working at home using the natural skills. The export council found out that they needed to be polished. And the polishing cannot be done in the ladies' homes. They had to be brought to a studio whereby they would be taught what to do. And then when they have done it, then we would polish what they have done into export quality product.
Right.
Yeah.
Why did you target the international market?
Wow.
Not the local market,
Yeah, the local market, people have been doing art and craft for the local market, but you find that you don't have very many people who are willing to buy.
Okay.
Isolated cases are there of very good customers, but generally the biggest market is in the diaspora.
Right.
So people have been challenged to make items, and when they make them and they don't get the market, they tend to withdraw and even forget about the whole thing.
Okay.
We realized that there were a lot of items lying in people's homes.
Right.
They had made the items, but they could not get a place to sell them. So they were discouraged and they stopped even making them.
Okay.
But now they were really excited when we told them, no, if you make a good product, we'll pick it up from you, we'll know what to do with it.
Okay.
We'll take it to the market, and the market will be in the diaspora.
Right.
Then with that one, we're going to encourage you to make more products.
Okay.
Yes.
How successful has it been so far, an year later, because we have people making products for international markets? How successful has it been?
I would say that we are very young in that industry, but we've seen some signs of the production being successful.
Okay.
In that we have put our products in some exhibitions which are in the upmarket areas. They have sold. They have sold a belt that somebody usually sells at around 300 shillings, sells at 1,200 shillings.
That's almost 4 times.
They have sold.
Okay.
Yeah. And we looked at the items that they are making. They are so unique, especially the crochet type, because the thread usually comes from overseas.
Okay.
When they go selling their products and they come back with the thread.
Right.
Such that they make materials using the thread that is acceptable by the diaspora market.
Let me ask,
Yes.
Is the product that is available locally not good enough? What do you think of it as a business person?
What we are doing is it's not a one-way thing.
Okay. How is it?
If we are selling to the European market,
Right.
we make using the thread that is acceptable to them. If we are selling to our Kenyan market, we make use of our own thread.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't just use the thread that is made in the European countries.
So it's a matter of preference and
Yes.
home quality. So let me come back to the legislation and the laws regarding business. How easy has it been for you in terms of financial institutions, you accessing loans and being able to fund your own businesses? Has it been easy for you? Sorry.
Okay, now this one is something that we've started.
Okay.
We've not gotten very far, but we feel, well, we're going to be a big industry.
Okay.
Because one, right now we are trying to encourage these ladies to feel that they are comfortable
Okay.
when they are coming to this organization. And when you make them feel that they are comfortable, they are doing something that will get a market, and the laws surrounding whatever they are doing, they are okay and favorable to them, and they are most likely to get some financial assistance, which they will, in fact, because once they are making good products, somebody will just come forward and say, oh, what assistance do you need? And then if it is financial, they are going to give.
Okay.
If it's materials, they're going to give.
Okay.
Yes.
That brings me to the question I should have asked first. How did you get the funds to start this initiative and actually run it an year later? Because not many businesses right now get to their first birthday.
Okay. Now, these members have been making these products for quite a number of years.
Okay.
In their own homes.
Okay.
And then selling in the local market. So when we walked into their lives and told them, okay, we can help you with the products, they were really excited. So it was just a matter of pulling out the stocks that they had in their houses and making in new stocks, and then we found ourselves that we are comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my next question is, there was a professor from an university who mentioned that people living with disability shouldn't be people who speak on topics of people living with disability. They should be authorities in all matters governance, matters business, matters politics. So my question is, do you see a future whereby people living with disability will be an authority in business without specifically putting out this discrimination, if I may put it like that? And how do you see this future being actualized?
Well, it's taking time, but it's happening.
Okay.
Right now, as we are talking, the able-bodied persons have accepted these other ones who are abled differently into very many areas. I'll give an example. People who are challenged, never ventured into business like tendering. Okay. Right now they are doing it. The government has supported that one through the AGPO program, and they supply just like anybody else. In the UMOJA Disability Center, that is one area that we have been working on. We've reached out to a company that has partnered with us to help those people who want to do tenders deliver. Because most of the able differently persons have been getting the tenders and not delivering. Okay. Because they have a challenge on finances. Now, somebody has come to our organization and said, okay, if somebody is in the organization and he or she is able differently, then, and they have acquired a tender, then we can assist. We'll give the technical advice, we'll give the finances until the tender is delivered. Right. And that one has really excited us. We've done quite a number of them.
Right. So how effective has it been so far? Do you see it growing? Because the Ministry of Gender says this 30% that has been put aside for people living with disability, youth and women, is not being taken up as enthusiastically as the government looked up to it. So do you feel, based on how it has been taken up by people living with disability, there's actually a future in it, and people will actually, make a living out of this specification the government has put out?
You will realize that it's not that the able differently persons are not able to deliver.
Okay.
The biggest challenge was they go borrow the finances, invest in this business, and he undertakes to supply
All right.
a tender maybe worth $1 million. And then that money was borrowed. He didn't have it.
Okay.
And then he is not paid on time. Now the bank where he borrowed the money now tells him, give us the money. They had issues.
Okay.
So those issues, I thank the president because he addressed it, and there was some change, and a lot of change at that.
Right.
Right now, people have seen that these people can deliver. So they are coming in, helping them to source for the material, give the technical advice, because some of them, they're able differently, some of them never went to school to an extent that he's a technical person.
Right.
But then if a technical person backs up this one and he has won the tender and they supply, then provided they meet the threshold
Right.
of the person who offered or requested for the materials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask,
Yes.
you've mentioned that many, or let's say a good number of people living with disability may not have gotten the education to a technical level, but they've got an education, right? So in your center, how are you training people living with disability to take up entrepreneurial skills and be able to actually venture into the business world?
We have noticed one thing. A lot of our members, some of them dropped out of school due to one challenge or another one, either financial or the physical, the physique of the body. They could not either go through school, or the parents, through some cultures that dictated that I cannot educate this one because how far we live.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, we are creating, from January, we are creating a forum whereby these guys can come back, sit in class, go through the process, resit their exams with a lot of ease, no pressure from any quarters, such that once they do that, they go to the colleges that they've always wanted.
Okay.
Ours is to help them go back into the mainstream training or school by, requesting them, come out of where you are, go back to school, then sit for the exams, and then they will follow the careers they have always wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Disability Act 2003 has put a couple of tax exemptions. If an employer has a a functional person living with disability in his business, he gets 30% exemption from tax. If a person living with disability gets into the import and export business, they actually don't pay a number of taxes. Is this something that is being taken up in the business world?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But to a certain extent, you would say that it's not fully utilized.
Why? Why do you say that?
Maybe if it's 5% employment, and we don't meet the threshold according to our company, we have not employed the 5%. The other company has not done the same. But you realize that not that they don't need the employees, they need them. But there are a lot of questions. Are they compliant with the Disability Act, they themselves? If they need my services, and I'm working on a third floor, and there's no lift, what do I do? I'll have to keep off the job.
Okay.
I am qualified, but I'll keep off because they don't have the facility. Now, they'll even keep me off in the first place before I keep off. They will keep me off because they would want to employ somebody who is able-bodied.
Right.
Yeah.
So you feel there's some sort of struggle to live up to the 5%, even if there's the exemptions and the incentives to sort of, encourage people living with disability to be employed in the informal and informal sector?
Yes. There is, I would say that to a certain extent, people living with disability are discriminated on by employers. In that you'll find that somebody has gone through school, university, and they have qualified like the other person, but they opt to employ the able-bodied and leave out this other one. Why? He has a lot of demands.
Okay.
This one has no no demands. Yeah.
So what will be your suggestion, especially business-wise, leave the employment part, business-wise, for someone living with disability, for them to venture into this business and actually make a livelihood for themselves? How would you advise them? Should we have an initiative-based founding or basis for you to be able to grow yourself livelihood-wise in terms of business, or do you encourage them to take the step by themselves and venture into business and sort of make a life for themselves? How do you say?
Now, people who are able differently have one thing: the stigma of exposing themselves, the stigma of not wanting to be embarrassed. So they keep to their cocoons. Now, unless somebody comes out and says, I will help, like now that company that has partnered with us and it has said, I will help. And then it's us now to tell somebody, come, you'll be helped. Now, if we don't encourage them, then they will not come out. But if we encourage them, they will come out and they will do business and they are competent like anybody else. Because they have the right minds, they have gone through school, and they are very, very creative. There is the children suffering from CP.
Okay. CP?
CP. You may think that child is just can't do anything.
Right.
Wait until you see them performing on their own. That is when you wonder, how did this one manage to do this?
Right.
When you start asking yourself those questions, know that they have done something unique that you don't get from ordinary people.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is your parting shot? And then before your parting shot, I'd like to ask, what is the future you see for UMOJA Disability Center in the next 5 years in terms of business and bringing people living with disability with some sort of future, but in business?
We are training them.
Okay.
So as we train them, they'll go places. We are giving or assisting them acquire assistive devices.
Okay.
You can't move from point A to point B. We get you a wheelchair, then you have moved. Then after you have moved, what next? We teach you. After we have taught you, then you'll ask me, what business do I do? Then I tell you, okay, what business would you want to do? Then we'll try and source for finances which are going to help you do that business which you have always wanted.
Right.
At UMOJA Disability Center, we feel ours is just to do the networking. Help somebody come out of the status that they are right now, take them to the next level. Once we have empowered them, then now we allow them to do what they've always wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wilson. You've really helped us understand that people living with disability actually have a special place and a very productive place in our economy. Yes. Thank you very much for finding time. I was very grateful for your attention.
Thank you.
Now, with that report, we're going to take a short break. Sports news coming right next. Stay with us.
Thank you.
I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Me llevas hasta tus labios, tú me tienes loco y lo sabes. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Oh, I've been shaking, I love it when you go crazy. You take all my inhibitions. Baby, there's nothing holding me back. You take me places and tear up my...
Panari Group offers an oasis of serenity, wonderful views and tranquility with well-equipped facilities such